This is like one of the biggest trees I've ever seen. And that's how big the base of the tree is. It's huge. There's the cab of a very old car along this road. And it's kind of just badly smashed here over that rock. Here's the underside of this car. It's one of the taillights still intact. And there's the back window right there. Here's a prospect at it. Probably for the King and Coney mines. You can see there's a bunch of timbering on the right there to try to prevent this rock from sliding down. It's done a pretty good job of that so far, but this tunnel doesn't go anywhere. Here's some pretty interesting fungi we found on the trail. There's quite a bit of them along this log. Pretty interesting. Some old kitchen related items we found near the trail. And there's likely a building or something right here. There's a fire pit right there. We're almost up to the mine now. We're walking up this rock pile. If you can see, that red line is where the mine is. Way up there. So this is where we're filling up our water bottles for the day. This is a waterfall coming from an alpine lake up above. So right up there is the mine. You can see the tailings from here. And I'm just going to traverse our way over there from here. It's not too far away. Here's some artifact we found up here. Not really sure what it is. I'm not too great at identifying these old pieces of machinery, but it could be a part of a motor or some sort of power generation. A pipe here. And then here's the view. It's pretty amazing. It took a lot of work to get up here though. So here's a pretty awesome find. This is a head of a pickaxe. Completely original from the mine. Obviously the wooden handle is broken off. You can see in there. My camera will focus. Yeah, it used to be a wooden handle. There we go. Yeah, pickaxe. Very cool. Don't see this very often. There's a lot of junk too. More artifacts up at the mine site, including this handy scale. Yeah, you won't be able to see it, but right down there it says it's made in Japan, so it can't be too old. Here's the main adit, and this is the vein they're following. That's a pretty big vein. Goes all the way up top of the mountain. And right there, I think that's an open stope that opens up immediately upon entering this mine. More pieces of machinery here. These are patents dating to 1876. This one's for 1890 something. There's another chunk. And here's the view from the main adit. Rainier beer can. This is pretty cool. Here we are just inside the portal, and the tunnel continues that way, right beneath this massive open stope that you can see up there. There's daylight coming through, and that's a little hole we saw up on the mountain. It's coming from up there. So we're gonna walk under this stope and continue down the tunnel. Also right here is a little cutout area where this is where I found the beer can. There's a drum right there and some other assorted things. Alright, so this is a very interesting ore chute that we just found. See this? It's coming right above the tunnel. Here's the tunnel right there. And this ore chute just dumps down to where I'm standing right here. There's a pile of rock right there. And there's also one on this side. I mean, can't really see it very well, but the back of these logs were also an ore chute. Just looking up one of these ore chutes into the stope. There's some old platforms up there, I believe. And this goes way up there. Here's the other chute. Alright, we passed through the ore chute area, and here are the timbers that are supporting the ceiling right now. And there's the main tunnel continuing forward. Another drum right there, and some other artifact. The Rhinelander beer case made by Rainier. And right beneath it is this very large old piece of machinery that's kind of broken up right now. And then the tunnel continues this way, and there is this amazing air compressor right here inside of the tunnel. And we'll get a nice close-up look at that, but that is unbelievable that they brought that entire thing up here and put it in this tunnel. And there's the tunnel continuing forward. Here's the air compressor. This wheel is huge. It's about 6.5, 7 feet tall. And this thing takes up a large portion of this tunnel. It's amazing. Right here. There's the company that made it. Alright, so continuing forward, here's some hooks on the walls for lighting. And we're 100 feet in now, and we're going to keep going. A little ways further down, and here's the tunnel continuing forward. Notice this fault line right here. This flat wall versus this jagged wall on the left. Pretty interesting. Alright, so there's the tunnel continuing, and we've reached this junction here. This looks like just a dead-end drift tunnel. There's some artifacts back here that we'll check out, including this little tank. Some other stuff. That ore cart wheel right there. Let's go back here and check it out. So here's the rest of the dead end drift. There's a Hercules explosives box right here. Here's some miners' graffiti. There's a bend in the tunnel. This one's from 1944. It says cut here. Nuts. Don't know what that means really, but and then right here is 1933, and this swastika, which I believe it's not the Nazi swastika, it's the other one, I think. I'm not positive on that. I have to look it up. There's more graffiti right here, and there's actually a drawing right here. Some other stuff from 1933 and 41. And let's take a look at this. It says Larry, I'm not sure if it's Larry Wright, I believe, and then ECP 1934. So that's pretty cool. It's possible that this mine might have ended here at one point, and that's why there's so much miners' graffiti. But it keeps going down down this way, so we'll head over and check it out. There's another drawing from 1937. Maybe a portrait of one of the miners in here. Who knows? Pretty interesting and very rare to see. But tunnel's bending to the right up here. And we'll follow it forward and see what's around the corner. I really like this shot of the mine right here. You can see these hooks along the wall. And the tunnel's curving up that way. Ventilation tubes on the ground. So this tunnel just keeps on going, just walking down straight in the back end of this mountain. So I do hear more water up ahead. There's an old glove. It may or may not be that old actually, but looks pretty weather. Tunnel's still going, so looks like there's a split in the tunnel up here actually. Yeah. Short, very short drift tunnel back there. We've arrived at another junction. There's a short dead-end drift right there. Tunnel has some collapse, but it keeps going forward. And the right drift goes for a considerable distance that way. So we'll check this right branching drift out first, see if it leads anywhere. Wow, that's crazy. So these are thick, very cool. And this is down the right drift, which is blocked right there. More miners graffiti here at the end of this right drift. Something about, I can't read that. So go something hole, can find one. Might be go home something. Can't read it really. There's another drawing right there. Not sure what that's a drawing of. And then this little stope right here. And this is the end of this drift. Back down the middle branch of that, at that junction. Past the collapse, which really wasn't that bad. And see what's down here. More miners graffiti that says, "I am sorry." This, someone's name, 1947. And this is it, I think. Yeah, this is the end of the tunnel. There's a little bit more miners graffiti back there. It looks like some of the same names we saw earlier. And those drill holes too are very large, I've noticed, which is, yeah, I'm not sure, I'm guessing those are drill holes, but they're definitely a lot larger than I've seen. Yeah, this is the end of the tunnel. 2 tobacco tins. I believe this left one, just judging by just that red color, I think that might be a Prince Albert can, although I can't tell for sure because it's all rusted. So there's the portal back there, and here's what these timbers are holding up. Yep. So this is why abandoned mine exploration can be very dangerous. If this came down, it might, block the tunnel, it could land on someone's head, all sorts of bad things. We are looking into this open stope from above. I should be careful here, but I don't have my light. Oh, you can see in there, yeah. I was looking down toward where we were.